Well, whoever said dead men tell no tales never met Jeffrey Epstein. What happens to the elite in the world they govern when a secret is literally too big to keep? Man, I got a text from my partner, John. He said, Theo, do you realize we are living through the biggest scandal in history? In history. And I was like, bro, you right. We gonna be the ones to tell our descendants where we was when this all broke. We're seeing a system exposed for the level of consciousness that created it, the ass end of 500 years of imperialism and the sons of empire crumbling under the weight of what their forebears gave them. The power of these corrupt men was only as strong as its weakest link. As soon as somebody grew the courage to fight through the fear that they created in the folks who they silenced, their days were numbered. I got to give props to the victims. I got to give props to the reporter Vicky Ward, who really pushed this forward, even when she was threatened with all sorts of things. These women toppled these men. And I want you to imagine what life must look like for a girl trafficked to Epstein Island in, let's say, the year 1995. Could she imagine that 30 years later, this would be the thing to bring it all down? Without integrity, nothing works. Without integrity, nothing works. And I said, why is integrity so hard for human beings? It's because we're social creatures who get rewarded for appearing a certain way when integrity is such hard work. Hypocrisy is one of the greatest privileges that the elites can flex because they can get rewarded for appearing a certain way without having to be a certain way. But the fact is, without integrity, nothing works. When you go to buy the Fruit Loops, at some point, there's got to be Fruit Loops in the box. If you go to have a system set up based on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, eventually it has to be that thing. Whatever is truly the reality cannot be denied forever. The appearance comes crumbling down. These people have been the masters of illusion, and now reality is asserting itself. Look at that. The scariest thing about all of this is that the size of the corrupt web of treacherous actors is so big, it could literally have global bloody consequences. This is the thing. Everything's connected to Epstein. Everything, right? The why behind the American people not getting their needs met by participating in the electoral system is because of all the compromise of our elected officials. The why behind the fact that the deep state keeps starting wars when the American people doesn't want it, and how it's connected from everything to what's going on in Gaza to everything what's going on in Sudan, and the way in which the United Arab Emirates and the folks in the Middle East know that Trump is bought off and they can do things under the shadow of the big domino of the world powers not looking. It's all connected to this one thing. The shadow power's ability to manipulate through blackmail and sexual shame. This had to come down eventually. It's just a matter of how big the blast radius of the crater from this house of cards is going to create and how close we are as a people to getting swept up in that wave. Every crisis has concealed within it an opportunity. And the opportunity that I see before us right now is as the system crashes and we're revealed about all of these things behind it, we have the opportunity to create a world that works for us for real. And the fact that it's going to be this destructive is going to create the openings for us to construct the world that we will have to pass down to our descendants tomorrow. But this world was in the way. And when this falls away, we need to make a system that does not mistake control for power. Only the reality behind the illusion will remain. And the next system we build must be based on that reality. And let this serve as a lesson that that reality is inviolable. And in due time, all things that are out of harmony with that reality will crumble. That's just my thoughts on it. I love to hear y'all's thoughts on it. I always read the comments. I'll be looking even though I don't comment. So my name is Theo E.J. Wilson. Like, follow, and share this message out if you feel that what you heard here was insightful. Holla back.